In this video, we're going to continue installing the engine steady bracket on this side of the engine and a few other bits and pieces, the pedal box and the accelerator too. Okay, so we are ready to get this engine support bracket installed. What needs to go in when you install the thermostat housing? There's a bracket under here which allows for one of the support bars. Let me just grab one. This one doesn't have the bushes in yet, but that will sort of sit in there, and then that connects to the support bracket just there. So I've got the bushings, I'll do that after. Alright, so the first thing we need to do, I've got a gasket. I'm not sure whether you have to have this, but I have got one for the other side too, so this side can have a gasket as well. So the gasket goes on. Then there is just a flat metal plate. If you're installing this, in my Mini, it doesn't have a support here. It's just got that, actually it's got a similar one with holes in it because the heater, engine coolant goes through there to warm the heater. But this one doesn't have a heater, so it has that flat plate. Next to go on is this piece here, and then there's this extra bracket to make things, just to strengthen it, I think it is. Okay, so that just needs to be bolted in. Alright, I had to try things a little bit different, because you need to get this dog bone in with the rubber bushings. It's really hard. I found silicone lubricant seems to be the best way to slide it in. It slides in nice and easy. You can squeeze them in and then do up the bolt. So that's got to get done up first, and the same as the other end too. That's got to have both rubber bushings installed in there before everything's bolted together. Alright, so one of the first things I'll start off with is the expansion tank. That just needs to be screwed to the firewall up there in the engine bay. What I might actually do is just get that electrical cable to go behind it. That way it sort of makes things look a bit neater. Okay, so the next thing we're going to install is the accelerator pedal. I'm just going to put that in before we do the main clutch and brake pedal box. I'll just grab the safety blanket just in case I drop anything. I do have a rubber pad for this pedal, but I'll put them on afterwards. Okay, so let's get this installed. Just when you install it, you have to make sure that the pedals are sort of a bit of pressure on them. That end piece there needs to be sitting inside there, because otherwise it's not going to function as it should. Okay. Right, let's try and get that screwed in. Alright, just when you thought I was done, I just need to install this little thing. It goes behind the pedal box, and the accelerator pedal rests on that. It's just like a limiting thing, just so the end of the accelerator doesn't keep hitting the wall of the car. Okay, so at this stage I may actually just try and we'll go ahead and install the clutch master cylinder. The reason why I put these bolts on already is just to help hold down that plate. It needs to have these gaskets installed before the master cylinders go in. So I just need to undo these bolts. I'll install the master cylinder. Okay, so let's install this clevis pin. How easy is it? It's just got to go through there. How easy is it doing it like this when you don't have a dash in the way? Compared to a mini, it's very easy, it just slides straight in. Tricky part is getting the split pin to hold it in, but that's not too bad. I'll do it so you can access it from this side here. I think that will be the best way. Okay, so I've got the clutch master cylinder installed here now. Let me just talk you through what I've done so far, and I'll record this for when I do the brake, just so you can see how I do it. Because initially this entire thing, it's brand new, so it's going to be empty, there's going to be no brake fluid inside here. What you need to do is take off that tab. First of all, add some fluid in here, only halfway, that's enough. And then add some fluid into the top here. You can pump it a couple of times, you'll see bubbles come up here. Keep doing that, and you'll still continually get bubbles because it's not sealed up properly, but do that a couple of times. And then the other thing what I do is, let me just go and grab it off the bench. Just to make sure, to test, to make sure the actual cylinder is working, I installed this thing. So install that into the top, and then do the normal bleed thing where you press the pedal, block that, release the pedal, and then undo here, and then press the pedal again. Do that a few times, and then eventually it works, and then you can bleed it, and just to make sure the actual cylinder, master cylinder is working. So now I can go ahead and just install this cable down here. Okay, so I'll just talk you through what I'm going to do, and then I'll actually do it, because I don't want to get brake fluid everywhere. The hose which connects to the slave cylinder, similar thing to like doing the brakes. This end here is what gets screwed into here, but you obviously want to do that end first. I just need to check whether it needs a copper washer on there. Yeah, I think it will, because it won't bottom out. Okay, so copper washer on that end there. Screw that into the slave cylinder. I'll have to get a spanner to tighten that. And now that that's in there, that can be bolted back onto the actual housing, and then this section here can get put together as well, but I'll just show you that. Okay, so I've tightened that up. What we need to do next, we can actually just install the cylinder on the clutch housing. Now we need to install this piece. I think it goes on top, but I will double check when I have a look, because on the Mini it doesn't have that. Things are done a bit different. The purpose of installing this is because that's the junction for the brake lines. On a classic Mini, that piece, there's a bolt hole there that it goes into, but on this Moke we need to do it this way. Install a star washer, and then a nut goes on top. I'll tighten that in a second, and then this of course can get put into its correct spot, and then bolt that down as well. I'll just get all that tightened up. Okay, that's all tightened back together now. I'm just going to put the end pieces onto the clutch. I'm just trying to look at the Mini to see how that actually goes on. It's harder in the Mini because I've got a brake booster in the way. But it seems like it doesn't matter which way that goes. But let's just go that way because it makes things a bit easier. So slide that pin all the way through. I don't think it matters, but there'll be less things in the way. Pin goes all the way through. Actually no, let's do it the other way, because then I'm not messing around trying to get the split pin through. Okay, because now I can just do up the split pin on this side. I'll just leave it like that for now in case I need to redo something, and then there should be a spring from here to here. I'll have to order one if I can't find one in my spare parts. Next thing I need to just build a pipe that goes from here to here. Okay, so what I have got done so far, I've constructed this brake line here now. I found a spring, but I don't know where I'll put it. Okay, so I found a spring. It was in the box of all the clutch parts, so I'm assuming it is a clutch spring, but if not, I'm going to put it on anyway. And I can always change it afterwards if it is not correct, but it looks like it's the right tension. Okay, that is the slave cylinder's now ready to bleed, so I'm going to get myself a hose and a little container to capture the fluid and then bleed it. Okay, so I have got a container set up here. I've got a hose on here. It's got a valve at the end of that. It is one of those brake bleeding kits. So I'll jump in here, and actually I'll just try using my hand to do it. See if that's got enough force right to you. Okay, so the clutch has been bled now. I've got rid of most of the air. I may redo it at another stage, but at the moment we have got movement. Let me just sit in so I can use my full leg power to do the pedal, but that feels okay. Feels like how a clutch should feel. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there. We'll finish off this video here, and probably I'll probably get the fuel tank done before we fiddle the brakes, or maybe I'll do these extra pipes and install it. But I'll leave it there for now. Thanks for watching my videos.